Alright, so this is 2 days since I've recorded the previous video, and the plants look extensively healthy, and probably they've grown by half or a quarter of an inch by now. Alright, so the reason why we used hybrid stones again is because we wanted to eliminate the using of soil, because it's an indoor system and it could get messy. And what goes through or flows through the system is the fish water, and the fish water is rich in ammonia thanks to the fishes, and how the ammonia content increases is because of the fish excreta, and the fish excretion has a lot of ammonia. It's rich in ammonia, so the water in the fish tank flows into the sump tank through the flood pipe, and it rolls back up into the grow bed. Alright, so the most unspoken feature about the bell siphon, or sorry, about the aquaponics system is the bell siphon. Now the bell siphon is a 3-pipe configuration. So this pipe, the main pipe, is just a media guard. It's just a guard pipe that stops all the stones from entering into the system, into the bell siphon system, because once this enters, it's gonna cause a problem and block a certain pathways for the water to enter. So now how the bell siphon really works is because of the 2 pipes that's inside this guard pipe. Now once I remove this pipe, you will see that this pipe is basically an inch taller than the 3rd pipe, which is the flood pipe. Now the flood pipe is maybe just 1.5 inches long. It depends on how big your grow bed is, and how much do you want the water to float up. And this 2nd pipe, it's only an inch taller, or literally 2.5 centimeters taller than the flood pipe. So we will call this pipe the flood pipe, and we will call this the drain pipe. Now the reason why we're calling this a drain pipe is because it literally drains all the water once the water reaches the brim of this pipe. And now we have an end cap here to close or to seal the top of the pipe, and here this is what's fascinating. This is an air inlet, and this air inlet is waterproofed, so water doesn't leak from here. Now once the water reaches to a certain height, till here, it starts suctioning in all the water till the bottom of this air inlet pipe. Now the reason why we'll stop here is because as soon as it reaches this area, there's going to be a small bubbly airflow going up into this pipe, and once air enters the brim, the top of this tall pipe, the suctioning is going to stop. As now how it works is basically this pipe and the flood pipe, the drain pipe and the flood pipe, what they create is a vacuum. So once a vacuum is created, there will be no air. Technically there will be no air in between those pipes. So the process while the vacuum is created is draining, and because of no oxygen, the vacuum just keeps pulling. The pipes just keep pulling the water till there is some air, and once it reaches the end of the 2nd pipe, the end of this pipe, which is the air inlet pipe. Once it reaches that, say this one, yeah. Once it reaches the end of that pipe, there's going to be a small bubbly air entering the brim of this 2nd pipe, and the suctioning will stop. It's a very age-old concept that was, as per my research, it was invented or discovered by Professor Pythagorean, and the Pythagorean invented this for his students to stop drinking wine as they were getting greedy. But turns out that this system, or this feature, this scientific discovery has become so useful in many other aspects in the world, and here it is helping us in the aquaponics system in many ways. One of them is, one of the biggest key features of the bell siphon is that we are getting rid of the air pump, as for the fishes need oxygen all the time, but with the help of the bell siphon we are getting rid of the oxygen pump that's needed in the fish tank, because the water that's getting pulled or siphoned into the fish tank, that water holds a lot of oxygen in it because of the bile siphoning system. And see, as you can see, the fishes spend most of their day on that corner of the fish tank as they wanna consume that oxygen that's flowing out of that water. And since oxygen is denser, oxygen doesn't really leave the fish tank immediately. The oxygen in the water condenses or flows down into the fish tank. So the flow is a bit more smoother for the fishes to survive. And now how the ammonia content converts itself is because of the biofilters. That in fact, it's actually because of the nitrification process, and the nitrification process converts ammonia to nitrate with the help of the nitrosomonas, and nitrosomonas is the type of bacteria that helps in the conversion rates. Now, what other element exists or helps in converting the ammonia to nitrate immediately is the biofilters right there. The biofilters are basically the homes for these bacteria called nitrosomonas, and nitrosomonas basically colonizes themselves amongst these biofilters. So the conversion rate is a bit more higher thanks to these biofilters. Alright. Now, certain optimization points for the whole aquaponics system is to cover the open areas of the fish tanks or the sump tank over there, because having a closed environment with respect to the water reduces the evaporation rate. So there is less time given to pour in more water into the system as the water depletes, because evaporation rate is inevitable, and it has to and that reduces the water content in the whole system. But what's beautiful is we are consuming the same water all throughout the system, all throughout the year. What you will be adding is maybe a liter in once a week, and that is about it. And you are not changing the water system, and there's no need to change the whole water system. There is no need to clean up the system due to the impurities in the water, as it all gets cleaned out. Only thing that needs to be maintained or taken care of is the motor and the filter in the motor, and that's about it as when it comes to maintenance. And plus, another way to optimize the system is to add in a food automation supplier system that can supply food at a specific time every day. Another way to improve the system altogether is to give a timer switch for the light, so that it can switch off and switch on at a particular time every day. And that really is the whole optimization point for the whole system. And now, this pipe over here is called a flood pipe, and this pipe is basically a backup pipe to the bell siphon, just in case the bell siphon fails, or if any stones enter the siphon by any way and it blocks the flow, goes into any of those holes and blocks the flow. So the water is going to rise up and it will flood out, and it will make the whole area floody. And that's going to create an issue not just for the user, but also for the fishes to suffer and the motor to die. So what happens here is the flood pipe, once the water goes to a certain height, and if it fails, then the water will flow into the flood pipe without any problems, and it will just flow right down into the fish tank. Now I realized that we can use the flood pipe for one more reason, and that is to feed the fish. So instead of the user all bending down, crouching down, and feeding the fish every now and then, twice a day, instead of that, all they need to do is put a bit of fish food, tap it into that, and it'll flow right into the fish tank without any problems. Now, that's the whole concept of the whole aquaponics system. Thank you.